We're definitely not. This is going to be a horrendous video.
Yeah.
I don't know why you said we had to agree.
I don't either. Maybe we'll just decide, nah, we don't have to agree. But until then, we're going to have to agree. Welcome to Tablenauts Consensus Root Faction Ranking videos, in which Doolin and I have to argue until we finally agree on a consensus ranking of the Root factions. And I can tell you right now, we don't agree.
You guys are in the room where it happened. I don't have the votes for the one that I want.
We don't have the votes.
You're gonna get crystal food.
You don't have the votes.
All right.
Number 8.
Do we say these at the same time?
No, this one is gonna be impossible.
It won't be impossible. I bet you if we start going like up our list.
You don't think it's gonna be impossible?
No.
Here, my number 8.
Oh gosh.
The lizards.
You're wrong. You know why you're wrong?
Why am I wrong?
Because we're definitely disagreeing, and both of these will have to like bump up higher. The otters.
No!
Worst one.
The otters number 8?
Worst one.
That is...
They are completely dependent on other people giving you things.
I will agree slightly. I'll agree to an extent.
Do you think you could win without that? Without any?
No, you could not win a single
I don't
thing.
like that.
Yeah, it's an entirely different dynamic. But
if I know that I'm playing them, I won't trade with them at all.
I'm sure you can without trading. Like I bet someone has won, but like no, the odds are stacked against you.
I don't like that at all.
They're so fun and unique.
Now, I will say that I bet, because I've never won as them. They're like the one faction I actually haven't won as.
It feels great to win as
I bet you it's very satisfying, but it's
satisfying.
Because they're so bad. Like, I don't know. I just think that they're horrible.
I think
that the app probably hurts it more.
I agree. I think around the table, the otters I won't say excel. I don't think they're high tier. Mm-hmm. But around the table...
Really? I thought they were going to be your number one.
Well, to be clear, I don't know if they're my number one or not. I haven't even looked in a minute. But this is strictly about our enjoyment. Mm-hmm. This isn't our tier list. Unless that's how you did it.
No, I put it as... Because I would definitely raise up some. This is how I enjoy them. And
this is strictly enjoyment for me. So otters may be high, but I don't think they're good. Mm-hmm. I'd say otters are bottom 4 at least. They're lower half percentile for sure. But... they're so fun to play. It's an entirely unique game. You do have to rely on other people and also set your prices. And like when I play the otters, even in the app, I'll try and be like, look guys, I got a favor of the rabbits and I can use it in a couple of turns. Someone needs to buy it. Or, hey, I've got 2 ambushes. I see that you're in this clearing. You want to protect it? 3 warriors, that'll cost you.
If nobody gives you anything, obviously you're gonna lose. It just feels very, and I know this whole game is team or like who you're playing with dependent.
Yep, it is,
but that one just feels more so than any of the others.
I have no clue how we're gonna come up with a consensus. Let's move on to number 7, and we'll come visit that later.
We'll visit that because I honestly think that there's gonna be a few that'll be
hopefully easier.
We'll agree that they're bad, and we can put it at 8.
Is your number 7?
1, 2,
cat.
3 cats.
Yeah,
so we'll just rank them to
8. Yeah,
8. Last place, cats.
Cats.
They're
boring.
I will say, if I was doing a ranking of best ones to play first, I think cats is number 1.
I think Vagabond.
I don't know. I just feel like they're easy to understand.
Yeah, I think Vagabond's a good one to play first because you don't have to really worry about what other people are doing. Yeah. Playing the cats, you have to be well aware of what other factions are doing.
Yeah.
Not only to try and impede them, because the cats have enough board presence that it's often going to be their job to stop someone else's victory condition.
Mm-hmm. The fun factor is very low for me.
Yeah, super low.
But it definitely helped me introduce myself to the game. Honestly, as long as people ignore you to some degree, like especially early game, they're pretty easy to win with too.
Oh, no, I disagree entirely.
I don't know. I maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Everything's easy for Doolin to win. Thank you, Danielle. That's accurate.
That's not true.
The cats, I find them so difficult to win with, regardless of if people ignore you. Because here's the thing. People can ignore you early game, all game long. The cats are the quickest up and running class in the game.
Yeah.
Their first turns, they're scoring more points than anyone else primarily. Mm-hmm. But it comes to a screeching halt. And their growth is dropped off a cliff towards the end of the game. They score much less. But the problem with the cats is as long as you can ignore them all game long, they're not at risk like the Woodland Alliance or even the Eerie or the Vagabond especially for scoring 12 points a turn. At least not likely. Maybe in a perfect scenario they could. But one of the biggest problems that's not really on paper with the cats is you are the class with the most pieces. Meaning, people want to attack you.
Yeah.
Even if the Eerie you're close to winning, if you attack the Eerie, you're getting 1.2 if you're the Vagabond from killing that roost. If you attack the cats when they have 2 pieces in a clearing and 3 pieces of wood, that's 5 and or 10 points as the Vagabond.
You're 100% the biggest
they
target
are
on
the
board.
target
And
because they're the point scorers.
it doesn't help that...
By that I mean you score the points by killing them.
Yeah, you also get the most points at the beginning. Like, you are the person who guns out the gate, and then everybody's like, get him! And then, like...
When realistically, in my opinion, I'm not an expert on Root. I'm not Sam. I mean, I've played a lot. We have played... I guess we should even mention that. Nearly 40 times in the past 2 months. We're not experts at this game. I know Sam's probably played hundreds of games of Root. But I think the cats are... You either win by being lucky
or you die.
that other people are like not as involved or they're all killed or something.
Hey, speaking of cats.
The primary way I've won as the cats and that I've seen win as the cats is dominance cards.
Yeah.
But I think that's the primary way that the cats should win, maybe? I suck with the cats.
So cats' least favorite.
Cats' least.
And we've both mentioned these.
We're going to have a fight on the lizards and the otters.
Let's go to number 6 for both of us first.
What's your number 6?
Number 6, 1, 2, 3,
Eerie.
birds.
Yeah!
Hey! Okay, so we agree on that.
Heck yeah.
I will say, for me, the birds are just way too stressful. I actually don't have as much fun playing them as I do frustration.
Okay.
There are so many times where the reason I lose the birds is because I didn't pay enough attention to the clearings and like what
the recruiting and anything.
Yeah. And it's annoying, and people, like, especially on the app, people expect you to win because you're the birds. The birds win a lot on the app.
Birds are strong.
Birds and Vagabond, I think, are top 2 in terms of winning factions. But
Woodland Alliance maybe too. But
Woodland Alliance is up there. But
regardless.
Yeah, either way, I just think that those two, they ramp up so much, and I just get, like, I when I get them, I'm like, it's my game to lose, and I know I'm going to lose.
Yeah. I like the birds. I actually haven't played them in a while, now that I think about it. But I like them quite a bit. I mean, they are still a consensus number 7 at this point in time. In my opinion, number 6. But I do quite enjoy that puzzle that they create because it's a different game than you play with any other faction, pretty much. It's an engine building and like ensuring that you can do the things that you need to do and not turmoil. And I like that puzzle, and I like because there are different elements to that puzzle, right? There's the, can I move from here? Yes. But there's also the, am I going to accidentally not have enough to recruit? Like, do I need to get into a fight with someone who I think can win this turn? Because, like, if I have no one, if I'm recruiting 3 people and have 1 warrior left, I need to go into a fight that I can hopefully lose. Do I go fight the Woodland Alliance to try and lose some people there? Like, I like that puzzle that sometimes makes you think of, how can I get rid of a roost? How can I get rid of people? Because if I don't, I'll turmoil. If I do, I live to see another day. Yeah. And also, I don't think there's anything wrong with turmoil as long as you're planning for it. I like the different, like, leaders. Like, honestly, I really like... I hate the cats. I really like the birds. I really like most factions.
There's a big difference in your mind between the two. I'm surprised that lizards are beneath you. We didn't really talk about the lizard. We just talked about the otters.
Yeah, that's true.
Why do you hate the lizards as much as you do?
I think that it is exacerbated on the app. But... they are, in my opinion, easily the most confusing faction to understand. And that's not a detriment. That's not a negative, like a knock on its points. But it needs to be made aware. And you need to be known. I said those both opposite. It needs to be known, or you need to be made aware that the lizards are very different.
High difficulty.
Yeah, I think they're extremely difficult. And I will straight up admit that I have yet to really grasp them. Which will certainly affect my rankings, I'm certain. By the time I understand them a little more, they may shoot up a little bit. But they are the faction that, in my opinion, you have the least control over. In that sense that I have yet to figure out how to manipulate the deck, which is what identifies the hated suit or the... what's it called when it's like really hated, outcast hated, or outcast suit or the hated outcast.
Yeah.
And I've yet to figure out how to kind of control that. Nor even if you do, I don't think you can control it. It's still
It's somewhat.
yeah. You can mitigate it, but you can't control it. And it's one of those things that like there will be turns where I'm like I could really do something special here, and then the hated turns to a different outcast, and I'm like, never mind.
Yeah.
I can't do anything this turn. Like I literally can't do anything. There are some turns on the app where I start the turn and I'm like, well, I haven't had any bird cards, so I don't have any acolytes. No one's killed me, so I don't have any acolytes. And I can't do anything because the outcast suit is not right for me. Like I do one action, I'm like, next. Like it's worse than slipping into the forest as the Vagabond, because at least you know as the Vagabond, when you slip into the forest, that you are gonna F stuff up next turn. Like, yeah, you're taking a turn off, but you're coming back strong.
Yeah.
As a Lizards, when I skip a turn, I'm like, I might even have to skip next turn. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I have yet to figure them out, and they're increasingly frustrating for me.
Yeah, I get it. I think that, like, the Outcast region is probably my least favorite thing about them, but I do think that they would be way too strong.
Oh, they'd be busted
if
you could control any clearing on the map like that. Because, I mean, they can literally, as long as they have the Acolytes, just torch a freaking island. Like, the Woodland Alliance would never win if in a game with the Lizards, if the Lizards didn't have that suit stopping them. I get why it's there, but personally, I don't love playing around it. That's just my thinking.
Okay.
Number 5. We're not going to agree on this one, I don't think.
All right. This one's hard for me. All right.
3,
so we're gonna
2, 1. Woodland Alliance. Okay.
Whoa, Woodland Alliance is low? That makes sense though, because these two I think are very similar in my mind. They're very
I understand
they're
and
an
like
infection.
the Woodland Alliance a lot more. Yeah,
They're
the Woodland
an
Alliance
infection.
is certainly that.
They
100%.
they grow the more you fight them, and it's fantastic. And they start off with like next to nothing on the board, and they're gonna pop up everywhere. I love it.
I really like the Woodland Alliance, and also I think they're very strong.
Oh yeah,
the Woodland Alliance are extremely strong. Now that's not to say if you spend
their fighting ability is ridiculous.
Yeah,
where they always get the
it's easily. I mean, that ability is the most busted ability in the game. It's mitigated by the fact that they have some other things going against them. I really like the Woodland Alliance. I mean, we're that's my number 5. So obviously 4 I like better, but like I really like the Woodland Alliance. That's a great faction.
I put Corvin here specifically
You've
because
never played them, right?
I have not played them, and I just have the ones that are 4 and up now are ones I love.
I don't want to be rude, but I think we should take a little less stock in that opinion.
That's
since
fair.
You haven't. I'm not saying, oh, you don't get a say on the Corvid, but like because you haven't played them, I do think it's important that we give a little less leeway, like a little less stock to that thought.
Man, this is tough because okay, hold on. What are ones that haven't been said yet? It's not this one. And it's not this one. Like that's it.
Yeah.
These are the only 2 that haven't been said yet.
Yeah.
So that means it has to be one of these as number 6, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so here's the question. These 2 are the ones that we both ranked as bottom. How low is your Otters?
Otters are number 3 for me.
Lizards are my 3. So, in the same way that they're like matching in our cuteness factor.
I mean, we're just gonna have to spill the beans. Let's just spill the beans. Then we're gonna discuss them. My number 5 is Woodland Alliance. My number 4 is the Duchy.
Really?
Yep.
This is hilarious. My number 4 is the Vagabond.
My number 3 is the Otters.
Okay. My number 3 is the Lizards.
2 is the Vagabond.
2 is Duchy.
1 is Corvid.
1 is Woodland Alliance.
Oh my god, this is gonna be a nightmare.
Number 1 is Corvid for you? Yeah. They're that cool to you?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, why?
Now, I will, and I've played these all, but I will say that I'll allow it for us to put a little less stock into my opinion on Corvid and Duchy, because I've only played Duchy once. I mean, they're still my 4th favorite, and I've only played Corvid twice. So, although I have played them, I'm comfortable allowing a little more leeway on them because I don't have a ton of experience with them. Whereas I have a ton of experience with every other class in the game.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the Lizards, which I haven't figured out yet. Hear me out.
Let's put these 2 as 6 and 7, and we have to figure out how. because I think that's only fair to both of us because we both had them as 8. If that makes sense. I don't think I don't think they should be in the top 4 if both of us had them at the bottom.
That's fair. So we have to decide which one goes 6, which
and
one goes
I
7.
was hoping that one of us would have the other like ranked
at 4.
Yeah, but no, both of us at 3.
8 and 3. 8 and 3.
And it's weird because in the same way that you don't like the Otters, or you like the Otters because they're like tough to play as. Mm-hmm. I love the Lizards because I think they're tough to play as. Yeah. And their win for me was so satisfying.
I get that. I also think that. So here's my thought process on Lizards and Riverfolk. Also,
same expansion.
I think that the Lizards. I think there's different ways to play them. You can put every one of your Lizards in harm's way, trying to build as many acolytes as you can. Mm-hmm. I personally, and I've never won, so I don't know what I'm talking about. I think that the way that I should play Lizards is get a couple of acolytes and then make gardens and protect them. Like, sit there and protect them, try and score every turn.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, if you give me the option of build gardens, sit and protect, discard a card every turn to win, or if you give me the option of running around a map and building a ball of otters that are then going to go attack anything and everything in its sight, one sounds...
Is the otter ball the only way to win as the otters?
No, I've won as the otters without the otter ball strategy before.
The one way that I won with Lizards, and shout out to you, Sam, is...
Yeah, by the way, a video for another day. This guy decides to read and watch the strategy guides before we play a game of Root with our friends.
Watched a 5-minute
video Jeff,
on each of them.
Nor I watched any videos, and you watched strategy guides. This wasn't a
before each.
Who are the Lizards? This was a how to win with the Lizards strategy guide before we play our dang game.
To be fair, I love Sam.
There should not be a to be fair in front of this.
And who told me that they existed?
I did. A year and a half ago. And I haven't watched any of them since.
It wasn't a year and a half ago.
Was it not?
No, it was like 6 months ago, 7 months ago. It was in January.
Okay.
Which is crazy to think about, right? Like,
time is a lie. Okay.
Because that's when we went.
That's fine.
It was actually December. Okay, it was when we went to Jesse's.
It was because we went to Jesse's. You had never even... Have you ever even played Root at that time?
No, and I was on my way to play it.
Right.
And you were like, hey, watch
on
these.
camera. Yeah. So I was like, hey, you're about to play this on camera. You should at least have some idea of how to play the game. It wasn't a, hey, you're about to play a private game with your few best friends who also don't really know how to play the Root. You should watch a strategy guide so you can murder them!
How did you guys treat me when I first joined? You're like, oh, you're gonna go through the ringer, man. Yeah,
we probably said a lot of
acted like I was like gonna be like this child amongst men, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go to those videos that Max told me about.
How wrong we were. Back to the point that we were trying to make.
Sam says that the best way to do well as lizards are actually fantastic at building. If they rule any clearing, they can build in that clearing, which is fantastic. So
isn't that with everybody? If they rule the clearing, they can build?
No. The cats, you have to have a...
Well, you have to have the wood, yeah.
No, you have to have... No. I'm talking about building cards, like crafting cards.
Oh!
You craft based on rulings
I meant building their gardens.
Yeah.
That's why I was confused. Yeah, crafting. Like Woodland Alliance are great at crafting, too. You just have to have Symphony on the board.
Yes. And with them, they ramp up how many cards you draw after only getting 2 gardens out for each one. So your goal at the very beginning should be to get at least 2 of each color out, gardens, if you can.
That's not ever how I play the game. I try and focus on 2 suits, that's it.
And then crafting
as much maybe as I should watch some freaking strategy guides.
Crafting as much as you can.
Okay, but what sounds more fun? Sitting still crafting, or rolling around... Sitting still crafting, or rolling around the map murdering and crafting.
That's only if Otters. That's only if you get ignored as the lizards. No one ever ignores you. And the fun thing is that people will attack you, and they're like, ha, wipe the gardens. And then next turn, you know what you have? A million acolytes. And you're like, hey, remember that place you left way over there because you thought it was well protected? It's gone now. It's gone now. And all of your people are my people.
But have you seen 8 otters move from one clearing to another and murder everything in its path?
But it doesn't happen all that often anymore.
It's because no one plays the otters. I wish I could.
No one likes the otters.
I love the otters. It's Jeff's number 2 now.
Yeah. Well, you won once.
Yeah, because that's how never fun they happens. Are. That's That's how fun the otters are, though.
Sorry, Jeff, I love you.
That's how fun they are.
No, they're only fun the one time you get a win out of 20 times playing it.
I have fun with the otters every time. I've won with them twice. I
You just
love
got to the
playing
point
the
where you
otters.
enjoy losing then.
No, I just think the otters are fun.
We're not going to agree on this.
We're not.
We're not.
Which means lizards go down.
No. No.
All right.
All right, I'll concede that if you'll concede something later.
What do you want me to concede later?
My number one has to be higher.
I mean, it'll be higher than it is, obviously. It's your number one.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be higher than your number one.
Why?
Because Corvid we've barely played as.
All right, that's fair, actually. That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay.
I love them. They're my favorite. But you have zero experience with it, and I have minimal experience with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's...
I'm excited for when
That's
they...
fair.
Is there a plan to put them on the app?
I have to imagine. That app has to be their moneymaker. Like,
Really?
oh, it's got to be. Not
that's
Leader
fair because-
Games.
Yeah.
It's not Leader's moneymaker.
Yeah.
It's whatever company it is that makes...
They make
Direwolf.
Sagrada too, which
Direwolf.
is great. We're not sponsored.
No,
but-
it's got to be Direwolf's like
But
moneymaker.
The amount of time we
digital Root
put
app,
into the Root app
God,
and
it's
pushed
ridiculous.
it, we should have Direwolf.
we
shirts
should get
by
a channel
now.
sponsor.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so we'll rank it like that.
Okay,
That's
that's fine.
fine.
That's fine.
And then mine
But-
was Dutchy number 4 and Woodland Alliance number 5. Where's your Dutchy sit?
Number 5 is Woodland Alliance.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Corvid. Number 4 is Vagabond. I think we're completely backwards here.
Okay.
Because number 2,
Let me just
For
toss
me,
something
is
out
Dutchy.
here. Let me just toss something out here. So
I
mean-
like that.
I mean,
I
these
can deal
could
with that.
swap if we wanted.
Well,
'Cause
my
Corvid
Dutchy was number 2.
Oh, that's why. Okay. I mean, Corvid's my number 1, but that's fine.
I like that because they should be side by side. In all honesty, we've not played them as
without
much.
as much experience.
Yeah,
Man.
I'm okay with that.
I feel really sad where the Otters are
I feel extremely
and where the
sad with
Corvid
Lizards
are. These 3, I'm actually like fairly okay. I mean, I'd want these moved up, but like I'm fine that these are in the top half easy.
Yeah.
The cats and the birds deserve
So-
where they are. We're
so,
100% agree.
I don't
with the
know
cats
if
and
you
the
guys
birds.
can even see what we're doing here.
We should- you may not even have
Number
eyesight.
4 is the Corvid.
We need to move it.
We've barely played with them.
Here.
Oh yeah. So cats, Eerie, lizards,
Lizards,
otters, Corvid,
Dutchy.
Dutchy. Those are the 2 that are in that expansion that we don't know much about.
Woodland Alliance,
And then Vagabond.
Vagabond.
And that makes sense to me. I should have probably ranked Vagabond higher anyway because there's literally a million other things you can be. It's fantastic.
The official, conclusive, as of September 2021, because once the Underground expansion comes out on the app, we may need to revisit this.
Mm-hmm.
Rankings of the Root factions.
I like this.
I'm happy.
Look at this,
With
look at
where
this.
they sit.
Root, original Root.
Yep.
One of the expansions.
Yep.
Another one of the
So we're
expansions.
both in agreement that the Underworld expansion is better than the Riverfolk.
Yes.
And
As of
that
right now.
the core box has some that are great and some that are blech.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Love all of them.
We love Root. That'll
Except
be
for
another...
Otters. Otters suck.
Nah, yeah, F the lizards, am I right? Anyways, we're going to have to talk more about Root another day, but we've done enough Root talk for today. There's going to be another video about us ranking the cuteness of these meeples because we've got some tea to spill, Sam. And if that video is already live, it'll be right here, right in front of Doolin's face. Click if you want to see us rank the cuteness factor of all the meeples. This is like a Mike Wazowski moment. You're like, I'm in the commercial!
I'm in the commercial. Oh my god.
We'll see you later.